Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the news that the Washington football team name is expected to remain for the 2021 season and possibly beyond. So if you guys are new, subscribe for Washington and NFL content. So let's get into the video. And also, I will be giving you guys a very important injury update at the end of the video. So make sure you stay tuned for that. A lot of new injuries. So as you guys all know, we've been dealing with this name change issue for a long time now. It's this pretty much since July we've been dealing with it, and then they announced that it would be changed to Washington football team for this season, and a lot of us thought that next offseason we would be getting a new name, but this possibly is not true. So I'm going to read what team president Jason Wright says. So the temporary rebrand of the Washington football team could last longer than just this season, according to team president Jason Wright. Next year is fast, Wright said, on the possibility of having a new team name by the beginning of the 2021 NFL campaign. There's a pretty good chance we will be the Washington football team next season. So that's very interesting because not only did the team president, say that it's expected that we will be the Washington football team next season, but it could be for longer, and who knows, JP Finley even hinted at it that this could be the permanent name for the Washington football team. He said, people keep talking about a new name for the Washington football team. Might be time to realize this name is the name. So that's what he thinks. And personally, if it sticks, especially after 2 years of being the Washington football team, it's going to be very hard for them to rebrand 2 times because they've been working this whole not this whole offseason, but since July, and still working right now to rebrand pretty much everything. And if they have to do that again, I think that's going to be really, really tough, but who knows? But that's what the update is for now, that Jason Wright said there's a pretty good chance that we will be the Washington football team in 2021. Personally, I would like just to get over with it. Either announce a new name this next off season, or just keep the Washington football team, because it's just too much stuff. I want to focus on football, and I'd rather get a new name than stick with the Washington football team, but I wouldn't be completely against it, but again, prefer to get a new name. So he said next year is fast because of how the brand has to come together through uniforms, through the approval process, through the league, all of that. And that is right. There's so many things that go through or go into, rebranding and getting a new team name. Usually it takes years, and, obviously they've only had from July, so it'll be tough to do. So that's why it might be just easier to do to keep the Washington football team. Again, that's not what I'm suggesting to do, but that's definitely what could happen. In the meantime, the franchise has launched an initiative called No Name But Team, encouraging fans to share their ideas for what the next team name could be. So it's going to be very interesting to see how this process works out. Like I said earlier, and like Jason Wright said earlier, it's really likely that the Washington football team name still exists for us next year and possibly beyond. This could be a permanent thing in Washington. Dan Snyder even said that, it could stick. He said this is what Dan Snyder said. It's also important to point out that team owner Dan Snyder said in September that the Washington football team name could stick. If the Washington football team name catches on and our fans embrace it, then we would be happy to have it as our permanent name. So, again, they're still looking out for new names. They're still, getting feedback from their fans and trying to figure out what they want to do next. But at the same time, keeping the name Washington Football is what they probably secretly want, because it takes so much less work for them to do. So they're hoping that this catches on and that fans, they're probably going to have a lot of polls and stuff to make sure that fans like this, because if they don't, and if it's overwhelming like it is right now, they will most likely switch the name. But if it starts to catch on, they will possibly keep the name. But in my opinion, I would like to move on to something else, but I really want it to be this off season, just because the transition is just too much. I feel like I'm still not completely used to the name Washington Football Team, but I think after 2 years, I definitely will, and it's going to be hard to readjust to a new team name. So hopefully they do it this year. I think that would be the best idea. I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below when it comes to, do you think the Washington Football Team name should stick? And if not, what name do you like? JP Finley did a poll, and it was really a resounding no about keeping the Washington Football Team name. So that's pretty interesting. Let's see what it was. It was 77% wanted a new name. So, I agree. So now on to the injury update. Like I said, comment down below what you think. And yeah, so let's go on to the injury report. And we got a lot of players on the injury report. So these are the players that did not play today. Logan Thomas with a neck injury. Ronald Darby with an illness. Sadiq Charles with a knee injury. AGG with the hamstring, Isaiah Wright with the shoulder injury, and James Smith-Williams with a concussion. Chase Young was limited with his groin injury, and Kevin Pierre-Louis was limited with the shoulder injury. So we have a lot of players on the injury list, and a few players we know that are already not going to play this week. Sadiq Charles with his dislocated knee cap, Isaiah Wright with his shoulder injury, and AGG, at least AGG and Isaiah Wright will not practice for this full week, so that most likely means they're obviously not going to play in this week's game. So Tony Brown and Jeff Badditt are likely to be elevated there from our practice squad, and Robert Foster, who we signed, he most likely will not be able to play this weekend because of the protocols in place, because of the pandemic, obviously. But there's a lot of injuries on this list. Obviously, stuff like the illness, Ronald Darby's most likely going to be able to play. Same thing, hopefully, with Logan Thomas. And, Steven Sims has been on IR for over 3 weeks now, so he's eligible to come off of IR possibly this week. So that would be an absolutely huge boost to the offense if he is able to get off IR, because he was decent when he played, and if we're able to get him back, that would be a huge boost. And then Chase Young, I really think they're giving him like a rest day, and the groin injury might have came back a little bit, but it's good to see that he was limited, and it could just be them easing him in. They don't want him to get too much work. And then Kevin Pierre-Louis with a shoulder injury, he's limited. We'll see how he reacts, him and Chase Young. If Chase Young doesn't play tomorrow, then I would be concerned. But right now, I think we're fine on his status for Sunday. And I really hope he plays, because Dallas is down to their third string offensive lineman, so he's going to eat if he's able to play. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please smash the like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. And let me know what you guys think about this whole name change thing. Peace.